Hello, and welcome to my channel, Purposely Peaceful. My name is Barbara Olenek, and I have used my creative self to refine and define my purpose on earth. When I was first designed by God, as we all are, we are given a purpose. Why am I here? Well, there's only two reasons why we are on earth as human beings, taking this journey as a human being, as a spiritual being, and that is to love and to serve. That's it. Won't matter how much money you have in the bank when you die, or how many cars you have, or how large your house is, or how many you have. What will matter is, did you serve? Did you love? Were you kind? That's all that's going to matter. And so from the very beginning of my life, in which I was given a treasure trove of tools to understand the suffering of humanity by the challenging childhood that I had, but each year that passed and to where I am right now, which is nearly 73 years old, I'm in Act 3 of my life. I'm going to break it down into 30-year sections, but I am an instrument of peace. And in 1997, that became even more evident when I was accepted into New York University's Tisch School of Arts graduate writing musical theater program, which in itself was like, what? I was a nurse. I was an older student, by the way. I was in my 40s, I think 46 when I got into the program. But I went into nursing right out of high school, and then I went on to get a undergraduate degree in English and in theater. But they were 17 years apart from the time I finished, started college and finished. Family, children, everything else, life got in the way, and then I finished the degree. But here I was, one of 22 in this program that I think is still top in the world for writing musical theater, and they have about 2,000 applicants a year. And I remember the first day sitting, first day of class, and we went around and shared a little bit about ourselves, and people were saying, oh, I have a graduate degree in composition from Yale, and I have a graduate degree in writing from this college or that Ivy League college, and I was a nurse. And while I had written musicals, I couldn't read or write and do the notation. I could sing, and I played the guitar, so I definitely understood music. And what I would do was, how I got through this program is I hired a young man, David Johnson, who was in the graduate program at Yale for composition. David was a violinist, sweet young man. I think he was maybe 22, 23 years old, and he was looking to make some extra money. So I said, David, if I come and I sing to you the song, can you notate it for me? And so that's how I was able to notate this musical, and how I had notated previous musicals that I had produced. But this was huge. This program, they teach you how to write for Broadway. There are people, the instructors there are active Broadway writers, whether they're lyricists or book writers or composers. It's a very advanced program. So this is how I got into this program, and in itself, as I said, is miraculous. And when it came time to submit your thesis project, Fatima wasn't even a thought in my head. I was going to adapt my autobiography, which I had written a book called Safe Enough to Remember, and then I adapted that into a bittersweet comedy, dramedy, I guess you would call it, for stage. And then I was going to adapt that into a musical. And that wasn't quite how it worked out. When I was running on the beach praying my rosary, and a voice as real as you said, you must write about the Marian apparitions. Well, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother video, which I will share with you. But this is just my intro. So why am I doing this? Because it's over 100 years that Our Lady of Fatima said to these children, get people to pray their rosary every day, and have them return their hearts to God. Ask for his forgiveness and pray for peace. That's what she asked of the children. And what did she say? Don't worry, because in the end, my immaculate heart will triumph. And that phrase gives me hope and peace every single day. In the end, her immaculate heart will triumph. That is the Fatima promise. So I am now, here it is, 25 years later. The show's been produced multiple times. It has endorsements from the Vatican, from Sister Maria Lucia and the Carmelite Order. I actually celebrated Mass with them in 2002 when I went for the first time to Fatima, Portugal. The then rector of the Basilica, I met with multiple times, and his words were, Barbara, this is probably the most significant thing to happen about Fatima since the event itself. We have endorsements from the International Apostle of Fatima, the president, Professor Americo Lopez, who believes it is a work from God. I am beyond humble, but everything that I wrote, the original script and score, I sent to the Vatican, I sent to Sister Maria Lucia, I sent to the powers to be of the authorities on Fatima. It was so important to remain historically accurate when writing this. And while there are one or two characters that are part of my creative process, the children, their parents, Father Ferreira, Arturo dos Santos, Maria de Capolina, Martina Marquez, these are all real people who lived in and experienced this event. So why am I doing this? Because it is time now that we take this, which was given to me, and I am giving to you, to share on every continent on our globe. There will be a time, it will be 100, 200 countries where this musical will be on a stage somewhere. And it won't be just being shown to devotees like yourself and I. It will be shown to people who don't even know the story of Fatima, because it's engaging. When I put on my producer's cap and I look at, okay, what will sell, right? What will people want to see? Well, this is a historical event. This has children as leads, right? It has wonderful music. It has mysterious and mystical events, and at the end, a miracle that will absolutely blow their minds. I have everything you need to make this happen in your community, whether it's a youth group, a Rosary Society, a university, a religious order, an independent theater person. It is someone who says to themselves, I can do this. This is interesting. Or let me just explore the possibility. Everything is available for you. The script, the digitally mastered entire orchestrated score, including transitional music, rehearsal format, audition platform, everything you need, how to understand and explore your market. I've all my tools that I've learned, all of my successes, all of my failures, and also those of in the Dominican Republic, Luis Ricard produced the Spanish adaptation, El Milagro de Fatima, and they premiered at the National Theater in 2009, and he has produced it multiple times in his country. The most recent in 2019. The most recent production here in the States was in 2018. So, but it takes people like yourself. After listening to this video, and if you think, I'm going to go to the website, which, by the way, is thefatimapromise.com. The link is below. And if you haven't already, subscribe or fill in the little, more importantly, fill in the little form that gives me your name and your email, and I will email you immediately the link to each step on how to produce the musical in your area. It is up to us to spread her message. And this is the way we're going to do it now. We're going to bring them in. We're not going to just preach to the choir. We are going to bring in people that absolutely have never heard of Fatima. But wow, what a way to teach them. So I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to sharing my story with you. This is Act 3 of my life. I thought I would be retired at this point. I still teach college. I've got one course starting in a couple weeks, but I no longer work as a nurse. I hung up my license in 2015, I think, 2016. But I am still vibrant and healthy, and I just have to continue to share this message until the last moment of my life, because that's the promise that I made to God and to our beautiful lady. I leave you with the song that she sang to me when, after I wrote the whole show, after it was produced for the first time in 2000, which, by the way, we had 14 shows and we sold over 11,000 tickets in a 900-seat theater. We had schools buying 200 and 300 tickets at a time. Anyway, this is what we are going to do together, and I will help you every step of the way. So, good night. Enjoy your rest of your week. I will post another video next week. And don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to fill out the little form. Send it to me, and we will begin our journey together so you can share the message of Fatima. And please, when I share with you, through you he lives, this is from her. This is from the Mother of God. Through you he lives. God bless you.
Bring the light of my sun to the world. Show the love of my son to the world. For you are the reason that he came to earth, and you are the reason that I gave birth. Through this time when much suffering prevails, we are there at your side as you wail. Remember the reason that he bore his cross. Remember the reason I suffered such loss. And now some will deny him, and others will scorn, and one even curse the day he was born. But through you he lives, through you he lives. Bring the light of my son to the world. Show the love of my son to the world. As brothers and sisters, united as one, oh love that is coming will not be undone. For there's only one humanity, only one family, and we, my children,